Okay. Hello, just making a quick little video here on how to do the Chapter 7 project and the expectations. So, you've already completed your ALEKS assignment, so you've had some practice calculating confidence intervals, and now we're going to show me how you can actually collect your own data and show me your understanding of confidence intervals. So you're going to click on this link for Zillow or Realtor.com, wherever you like to look and dream about houses. Now, not everyone does that, but I do. So I thought it would be fun to gather some data. So Mrs. Main would love to live in Marco Island someday when I retire. So you're going to put in the location where you would like to buy a house someday. Or if you've currently just bought a home, it would be cool to look up home prices where you've purchased a home. So now how Zillow works is there's for sale prices. So the weird thing about this is really we should be going by houses that have sold because that's the reality of the prices. So you could choose to use sold prices or for sale prices. It doesn't matter to me. But you are going to randomly pick 20 houses in the area that you want to purchase a home, and you're going to document them. Now look at, okay, so you have to really zoom in. And you can really get specific if you wanted to like narrow down all the ones that are similar to what you want to buy, three bedrooms, 3 baths, or 6 bedrooms, 2 baths, whatever it is. If you want to get really specific, it's going to be more accurate for yourself if you really want to put this into real life purpose. So either way, gather 20, I think it's 35 randomly picked homes in the area you want to live. So you're going to put those home prices in here. So you'll want to type them in, whatever the home prices are. Now, remember, you don't need commas because if you put this data into Desmos, Desmos doesn't like commas either. So just type in 155,000, no commas, something like that. Okay, then once you do that, you are going to grab that data and you are going to go to Desmos, and you are going to look at this. So you're going to grab your data and you're going to put it into a list. So if you grab your data and put it into a list right here, then you're going to need to find the mean and the standard deviation, just like I did here. And that's what you're going to use in the rest of your project. I got to find it again. Here we are. Okay. So I'm asking you for the sample mean, the sample standard deviation, and your sample size. And then I want you to define this variable. You've done that in the quizzes. And then I would like you to create a confidence interval. So you did that in ALEKS. You could do it in ALEKS or you could do it in Desmos. If you kind of do it in ALEKS, you can type in Desmos just like we type in ALEKS. So you don't have to use my little program. You can type it just like you did here. You can say 299, 497 plus or minus, do your 2 plus and minus of your critical value times your standard error. Okay, let me go back here. And then I'm just asking you some questions about the area in each tail, because remember, a confidence interval, you only have half of the area to the left and half of the area to the right. And then your confidence area is in the middle. I do want the values here, even if you're not going to write on them on paper, you can type underneath here, underneath the graph. Then I want you to go down here and it says some students think that a 90% confidence interval contains 90% of the data. Now, when you did your investigation into the intro to Chapter 7, you were just kind of, at that point, you didn't know anything about confidence intervals. And I'm assuming at that point, you were just kind of investigating. So we should have found in that intro assignment that not everybody had 90% of their data fit into those boundaries that we created in the intro assignment. And that's because real life data doesn't always work perfect. And so you are going to be finding some things here. I want you to find what percent really fits into your interval that you found up here in question 4. What percent of your actual data fits in your confidence? Kind of like what we did in those generated tables in ALEKS in Chapter 7. I'm asking you to do the same thing with your data. And then I want you to do some describing for me using your data descriptions here to answer 1 and 2. And then this table here is going through and finding what you'll probably do most likely is find your confidence interval, this column over here on the right first, either using Desmos or the formulas like we did in ALEKS. And then you're going to find your margin of error. Now, remember that margin of error is let me just show you, remind you, your margin of error is this part of your confidence interval when it's proportions, which we don't have on this case. But it's your critical value, right? Times your, your mean, your standard deviation divided by the square root of n. So this is your margin of error. Or you could do your upper minus your lower divided by 2, right? The width of your confidence interval divided by 2, that gives you your margin of error. And so I want you to do that for these other situations, for a 50% level, an 80%, a 95, and a 99. And that means you're going to have to get new critical values, because that's the only thing that's changing with these different confidence levels is a different critical value. And so, and then I'm going to ask you to make some conclusions about what's happening, which we already answered similar questions in ALEKS, right? What happens when you increase the confidence level? What happens to the margin of error? What happens to the width of the confidence interval? So if you did the chapter 7 in ALEKS, then this project and these kind of questions should, I hope, come quite easy to you. If not, please reach out and I will answer any questions.